was fenced in, but on the other side of the fence were some woods and a retention pond. I'd never been scared of this and kept the blinds open so that when the sun rose in the morning, the natural light would help me wake up. One night, I was up late on my phone with my dog laying in bed next to me. At around 2 a.m., my dog jumped up and started barking at the window. At first, I thought he was just barking at his reflection and told him to stop. But I then realized he was looking at the left side of the window while his reflection was on the right. I couldn't see outside the window because I had left the lamp on my nightstand on. All I could see in the window was the reflection of my bedroom. Not wanting to alert whatever might be out there that I was scared, I faked a yawn, set my phone aside, and turned off the lamp. I then lay down facing the window, and I swear I saw a set of human eyes looking back at me from the left side of the window. I drink a lot of water at night, so I had an empty bottle on my nightstand. I grabbed it and pretended to just realize it was empty. I turned on the lamp and acted like I was going to go get water. I went to my parents' room and my dad told me not to worry. We had these motion-activated floodlights and they hadn't turned on, so there was no way anything was out there. I went back to my room and told myself I was just seeing things. I closed the blinds and turned on the lamp and got some sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I went to take my dog out and decided to check out the pine straw bedding underneath my window. It was visibly disturbed. I did my best to ignore that and remembered what my dad said about the floodlights. That worked pretty well until my dad tested the floodlights later that day and found that the bulbs had burnt out. To this day, I keep my blinds closed and my lamp off when I sleep. I don't want to risk anything being able to see me, and if anything is somehow peeking through my window, I want to know it's there. If there was someone at my window that night, that's not me. When I was around 6 or 7, my parents were still really poor and struggling to make ends meet. This particular day, my mom was looking for jeans because she needed new ones, but we couldn't find any in her size. Where do poor families go for cheap clothes? Goodwill, of course. So that's what we did. My parents and 2 siblings loaded into the car and headed to our local Goodwill, about 30 minutes from our house. It was a really hot day, most likely sometime in the summer, so none of us kids were having fun. We went to Goodwill a lot as a kid, so I was pretty excited. As any child would do in the store, I went straight to the toy area and started looking at everything. My siblings and I were playing on the couches for sale when this middle-aged man showed up and started interacting with us. As the naive Christian girl, I was kind and happy to talk to the stranger. While I was always told not to talk to strangers, I've been diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and generalized anxiety disorder, which makes it very hard for me to understand social interactions and what not to do when in public. Anyways, the man asked for my hand. He never really spoke. He seemed nonverbal and spoke to me with little grunts and noises. When I gave him my hand, he held it up to his lips and kissed it like a prince would do to his princess. Of course, that's what I thought it was. I showed away because I was embarrassed. I never even thought that this was a bad situation. I thought this man was complimenting me and treating me like a princess, but oh boy was I wrong. We went over with our parents, watching my poor anxious mother becoming more and more frustrated at the fact that nothing she wanted fit her. The man, unknown to us kids, followed us over there. He was just watching our every move. That's when I got a bad feeling. He was staring at my little sister. My sister was maybe 2 or 3 at this point. She was little and I was overprotective of her. I grabbed my sister and pulled her over. That's when my dad noticed. He started keeping us in front of him, hoping the man would just go away. But of course, he didn't. My dad was was trying to tell my mom we had to leave, but she hadn't noticed and was already borderline to tears over the fact she couldn't find anything to wear, so she argued back. That's when he tried to grab my sister and my dad snapped. He told my mom we need to go and immediately started dragging us outside. It might have been subtle, but I knew that if I had stayed with that man when he kissed my hand, I would have most likely been kidnapped, maybe my sister too. I thank my dad for noticing to this day. He even made sure I was okay afterward. So, to the guy who made me terrified of going to Goodwill, let's not meet ever again. The other night, around 10, I stopped by a liquor store with my friend. We pulled into the parking lot and noticed a black truck to the left of my car with a man who appeared to be sitting in it, not doing anything. My friend waited in the car and I went in to make my purchase. Everything in the store was fine. I grabbed what I wanted. Then the hairs on the back of my neck stood up and I could feel something watching me. I turned around slowly and out of the corner of my eye, I saw the truck guy standing at the refrigerator with nothing in his hands, just standing there watching me. I'm used to this kind of behavior, honestly. It takes a lot to bother me, so I shrugged it off and walked towards him to get to the register and briefly made eye contact with him. And the look in his eyes changed immediately and he lunges towards me. I stop, look up in disbelief at him. He makes some quick, awkward apology and then laughs. I just kind of shake my head and begin to start walking when he does it again. At this point, I'm holding onto the bottle I want to buy, ready to defend myself with it. I give him a "Are you serious right now?" look and walk up to the register. The truck guy follows. There's one person in front of me and the truck guy doesn't understand or care about the typical personal space bubble. I'm actually anxious at this point. I can almost feel him breathing on me and I'm regretting my choice of clothing. The dress I have on doesn't cover much. I haven't worried about my clothing choice in a decade, but this guy was making me uncomfortable. I should have left the store right there and then. I make my purchase, leave the store, and quickly tell my friend about the encounter and say I want to get the hell out of here. The truck guy must have been quick in the store because as soon as I'm turning my car on, he's already in his and still staring me down. As I take a right turn to leave the parking lot, I see in my rear view mirror that he's got his bright blinker on too. We leave and this guy proceeds to follow us, not down just one, but several streets. Both my friend and I are freaked out at this point. After 15 minutes of driving with him following us, my friend tells me to pull over and let him pass. Anxiety peaks as he pulls over behind us. I have no clue what to do at this point. I don't want him to follow me home. My friend is angry as hell and steps out the car, just stands there and stares at the guy. After a few minutes, fortunately, he drives off. I don't think he knew I had a guy with me. I waited a few minutes to calm down before heading home. Nothing has shaken me quite like that, not in a long time. I won't be going back to that store or that town anytime soon. Before I begin, this encounter happened about 10 years ago. I was 22 years old, and I am well aware this was a very poor judgment call on my part. My parents always taught me to help someone in need, just not necessarily to the extent that I allowed. Up until this point, I didn't have much of a reason not to trust people, may not always have good intentions. I have also had an unreasonably difficult time saying no to people my whole life, and have since had the help of a therapist to be better about that. I have only told this story to a handful of people because I truly am ashamed of my actions and potentially putting my daughter's life in danger. I was on my way to an event of some kind with my 3-year-old daughter when I realized I had left something behind in my apartment. I was close enough to home that I decided to turn around and head home. As I was pulling into the parking lot of my apartment complex, a woman was walking kind of in the to the woman and rolled down my window about 1/3 of the way. She gave me this story of how she works at the nearby nursing home, and she had run out of gas on her way to the gas station and was asking for directions to the gas station. I didn't think much of the fact that she was roaming around in my apartment complex because it was pretty common for people to cut through as it sat between two main roads and avoids traffic lights. I gave her directions for a 5-minute walk to the gas station, but she mentioned that she was pregnant and she wasn't feeling well. I tried telling her I was in a hurry and assured her it was a very quick walk, but she begged. At this time, she noticed my daughter was in the back seat. She had a look of surprise that I didn't think much of at that time, and she began talking to my daughter and made her laugh. She turned back to me and asked one last time if I could just drive her to the gas station. At this point, I just gave in. I let her in my car and she almost immediately asked if I have money she can use. My heart sank at that point, realizing she was probably lying and just wanted to lie her way into some cash. I was honest with her and told her I was broke and also didn't carry cash on me. She pointed out another resident in the complex and asked me to drive her to them. In my mind, there was still a slight possibility she needed gas, but didn't have the funds for it. So I drove her to the other person and she rolled down my window asking for money. They said no and she pointed out another person. At this time I told her I really had to be somewhere and couldn't keep helping her. I drove her closer to the other person, but far enough that she would have to get out of my car to talk to them, which thankfully she did. When she got out of the car, I sped off and drove to my destination. I told my mother about this story, and a week later she sent me a clip from the local news. The news mentioned a woman who would approach people asking for a simple favor, which led her to asking them for money.